2K Sports pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. Ernie joined by Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, Boston playing against the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, for Milwaukee, their first time playing these guys this season. A year ago, going 1-2. They'd like to improve on that this go-around. Big is the most clutch player in the NBA right now.
I wouldn't say the most clutch, but his biggest shot.
It's time for the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony. Doris Burke is our sideline reporter. Joining us on the sidelines, the league's most valuable player in 2004, Kevin Garnett. KG, it is great to have you with us.
Okay, how you been, man? It's good to see you,
Waiting for you to sit right here next to us. That's what I've been waiting for.
Thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Can't wait to get inside your impressions of this game. It'll be a lot of fun. This Boston crowd ready to roar, and David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Giannis Antetokounmpo came to the NBA as an unheralded 19-year-old from Greece, but he's been a quick study at the NBA level. One reason? He actually takes notes. He said, we all make mistakes and your mind can't remember. I write what I did wrong and what worked. I'm going to keep it going. Someday, I'll have a collection. That dedication, Kevin, the sky is the limit for the Greek.
Boy, that's fascinating stuff, DA. Thank you so much. What better way to learn from your mistakes? You would have been in fifth that just didn't get a chance to. Say, you know, Greg Popovich or Phil Jackson.
You know, those are great coaches. I've had very, very little time with those guys.
Maybe all-star games and things like that.
I have. But you do all-star games, you let yourself go. You know, you open up yourself to try to, be there and be present with the guys. Yes. Open up, hey, what's up? What's been up with you? How's the year for you? Well, we're going to beat y'all cordial. You know, you're not talking too much in those, but you do share, philosophy. I had a chance to sit with him a couple times. Phil's a great mind. Phil's super deep and loves the philosophy of. I haven't had a lot of time with those guys. Doc Rivers, shout out to Doc, and, I know he doesn't get a lot for his philosophies, but he's very enriched with philosophies and styles and bringing teams together and trying to make sure that guys stay connected, stimulated. He would always tell us, never get bored with the process.
Wow, that's so intriguing. Interesting to hear. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for the Bucks, Bledsoe is out there with Tony Snell. Then it's Chris Middleton. And then there's Antetokounmpo. And it's Henson in at the 5. Irving against Bledsoe. Kicks it down to Middleton. Kevin, when you played, we all know how intense you were, how much you cared. Me was the thing that you cared so much about the product, about your team, about the game. But some people have said that maybe there was a streak of you that was mean is maybe not the right word, but you were overly aggressive. But I don't know how you could have played any differently.
I call it dialed in. What? I like to think that if you're trying to accomplish something, then, I only know one accomplishment. At it with everything you have.
Yes.
You go to down, take it over. You don't go at something like
you can't walk through the park with this game.
Not at all. And this game is full of talented elites. Night in, night out, you're playing to go for 50.
It's Antetokounmpo on the wing, covered by Morris. 5 to shoot, and Bledsoe, here we go. Stolen by Smart. Stolen by Middleton. Antetokounmpo. Pass to Bledsoe. Middleton. Horford with the rebound. 2 from the field. Irving with a clean look, and he misses the go-ahead basket. And it's Milwaukee's ball. Henson dishes to Middleton. Back to Henson. Snell, the pass to Antetokounmpo. For 3, Middleton. Another miss by Middleton. For Boston, they come into this one a lot of leaders. Kevin, when you entered the draft, no player had made the jump from high school to NBA in 20 years. And emotions when your name was called number 5 overall.
Oh, man, I remember that. It was
17 years old.
17, just turning 18 at the time. I was in like a whirlwind, to be honest. A lot of people don't know some stuff that goes up into the draft. You know, things that I wasn't aware of. You're training twice a day. You know, you're trying to get ready for you're trying to get ready for pre-draft. You got to do workouts. This is all new to me. On top of still going to high school, trying to, graduate and stuff. So I figured it out. I hustled and I bustled and I juggled a bunch of different things. But once your name is called, it's almost like the culmination. It all comes together. It's a special moment for just you and your family and your loved ones and ones around you. And my name is called. It felt like the world had stopped and everything was going very slow.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
You know, they're the visiting team. It's a loud arena, very distracting at times, but simply no excuse for missing a ton of free throws.
Well, I couldn't agree more, Greg. Situations like that you hope build character, but they need to knock down the free throws, bottom line.
So Boston ends up going with the new group. Clock at 4. Tatum kicks to Monroe, and it goes out of bounds. That one is off Zeller.
And checking out some numbers for Parker. He had a strong showing last season. He put up about 20 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. He has been terrific throughout, putting up some huge numbers offensively.
Well, and this is exactly who he is, a flat-out scoring machine where you plug him in and let him go to work.
Brogdon kicks to Terry. Pick by Zeller. Terry dishes to Parker. Here's Middleton. Denied for the third time. He's 0 for 3. Boston trailing. In the corner. Tatum with it. Pass to Rozier. Got a piece of it.
Yeah, good job. Just staying alert there, snatching up that long rebound.
Screen by Parker. Baseline try. Rebounded by the Celtics. Brown outside. And the pass to Rozier. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Rozier's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Terry kicks to Zeller. 29 seconds left in the first. Passes to Brogdon. And Middleton kicks to Zeller. Here we go, one-on-one. Brown, good. Brown's got...
Jaylen Brown in transition, a phenomenal finisher in the open floor.
Here's Zeller. Here's Parker. Off on the layup.
Not the kind of strong finish it should send him off.
A good close contest so far. First quarter. This break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. We caught up with Kyrie Irving earlier, and he talked a little bit about expectations for himself and his teammates.
We expect so much out of each other.
Kyrie reminding us of expectations of the fans and the media, but also perhaps the most demanding of all are the expectations they've got for each other.
Oh, yeah. They're constantly trying to manage expectations while still demanding the best from one another.
We got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. When you consider how the Celtics are doing, guys, what jumps out to you stats-wise?
I mean, an interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnover.
Feels like they're getting a lot of deflections, hands-on basketball, into steals. This has been pretty to watch.
Tatum out there with Aaron Baines. Then there's Brown. Then there's Monroe. And it's Rozier in at the point. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Celtics. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, Celtics coach Briggs is known for getting the best out of his players. He said every NBA player has an elite strength. Some of them have 10 of them. Those guys are the very best in the league, right? But every one of them is here for a reason. And there are times where you can really soar with that skill. Kevin?
And that's why Stevens is already one of the best coaches in the league, David. You've talked about him for a long time. Getting maximum results from every one of his players. Brown against Brogdon. off the screen. And the shot is long. The Bucks trail. Kevin, one of the biggest moments of your career, the 2008 championship with the Boston Celtics. Talk about the camaraderie among that group of players.
You know, Kev, I can tell right away that we had something special. In September, right before the year started, we started working out together. We started sharing concepts and how we saw the game. Right away, I could tell that the appetite was there. 1 through 15 guys. I was very ready, able to get that many guys in that early. As soon as Danny, signed guys, we were in, we were lifting, we was just, around each other, understanding each other, playing a lot. We was playing a lot. Then, fortunately, we was able to go off to Rome that year. Rome was a good distraction for us because we had to lean on one another.
Bond a little bit.
Seriously, because, none of us spoke Italian. If we wanted to go somewhere, we was always 3-4 deep, and no one was asking and no one was telling us to be with each other. We were just naturally being with each other so much that whenever you saw us to the restaurants, 9, 10 of us, that carried over to practice. Then we got 2 teams that are very competitive. Doc's letting us be who we want to be and letting us play with passion, and our practices are over the top, aggressive, and just too competitive to come in and separate us and, take the balls and cut the lights out and get us out of here. To the point where he just lets us go. Now we start bringing concepts to him. He started trusting our IQs. Now we start putting a couple of things on defense, Thibodeau's in there. He's implementing stuff. I mean, this flow is going. You don't know that you're going to win it up. You're on the waves of something special.
Kevin, of all the people, who is the toughest guy for you to score? Low will pick that geography. Who is the toughest?
Listen, I know a lot of people. I've always said Rasheed Wallace. I've always said Tim Duncan. They probably brought a different level play out of me. Shout to Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson was one of the better defenders in the post. He was very strong, very long. He didn't go for any counters. He was very disciplined. He was well prepared because he was a veteran. The refs let him get away with a lot. Touching. He knew when to be physical in some positions. He knew to do what we curly. He would meet you at the three-point line, and he would be fighting you. You would post up probably like a step outside the three-point line. He was really good at some of his techniques and how he was able to post. After the game, I watched a lot of it, and
Oh! My goodness. Some extra on it. That dunk way over the top.
Close shot. He finish firm when he gets the space. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. 7 points for Al Horford.
Yeah, guys, that vision and timing to put on time and on target.
And inside and finished off by Horford.
That's a low post position.
Milwaukee's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Pass to Antetokounmpo. Back to Bledsoe. Is it to Henson? Boston. Irving up top. Guarded by Bledsoe. Hayward just to Irving. No good there off the double clutch. KG, I know you can't stay. We appreciate your time, and it's always great to see you.
Kev, anytime, man. It's great to see you, man. And anytime you need me, let me know, man. I'm yours.
Defensive Player of the Year and champion Kevin Garnett. And Doris, one of the things that really strikes me about KG, he is athletically gifted. What a
he's talking, but others are talking as well. There's so much life to the conversation. Everything he brought to the he now brings to the booth.
Antetokounmpo against Morris. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. When we watch Giannis out there, he just looked unstoppable, Greg, at times. The way he's able to attack. Size, speed, and length is just unparalleled in the NBA.
And it's a movement that throws you off with Giannis. One step, and he's gone from the 3 line to the rim. There isn't any way to stop someone that skilled who's that big.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Marcus Morris. Tatum comes in for Gordon Hayward. Brown is checked in for Smart. And it's Rozier in for Kyrie Irving. And the shot goes in.
And it's easy to see that Antetokounmpo is a leader, unselfish and committed to making his guys better.
Brown kicks to Rozier. The dish to Horford. Feeds to Monroe. Picked by Horford. Shot is good. And the Celtics lead by 4.
And his man right into the...
He caught it!
And they make sure to get the last shot of the quarter.
Greg, you all...
And the first half comes to a close. Close game going here. Celtics lead by 2. Courtside as we send over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, away.
Thanks a lot. Kyrie, you all focusing on the game tonight?
You know, intensity that other teams can't match. Just doing whatever it takes to keep our tempo. Guys, when we have a great, just trying to get everyone involved and do whatever.
Well, we'll see if you can keep in the second half. Thanks a lot. Back to you.
And now, Case halftime show.
We so hope you were. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, the halftime. Boston found themselves in a close game in the first. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. The second quarter saw them lose just a fraction of the lead they held at the end of the first, as they're now ahead by 2 points at the half. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
Well, so far, they've taken care of their business. It's something you might expect, but it's not up.
And you, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Bucks.
I like the way they rebounded. They devoted a lot of energy down low, fighting for each other on the boards. And they helped keep this game tight. If they can continue to do that, it could easily be the factor that swings the game in their favor.
We can do for now. Begins Kevin Harlan.
Never a shortage of motion. Back and forth so far. Third quarter starting here. The Bucks.
And you look at the Bucks and this roster, and the one constant at every position, length. I mean, great height and wingspan. Giannis and Maker, just to name a few.
Court for the Bucks. We've got Antetokounmpo. Tony Snell is out there at Bledsoe. Then Antetokounmpo. And when so much of the NBA is trying to capitalize on small, that they're going to go for tall ball if they can make it work.
And what the length and height Bucks is a few things. One is at least at a few positions on the floor. Great coverage and court is much because of the impact of the three-point shot. You need size, skill, and activity to be able to guard that far from the back.
Assist. Irving.
Just tremendous range from Kyrie. If he steps across the half-court line, you better have a hand up.
So goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And that's how you want to come out of the locker room. He is fired up.
Absolutely perfect start, setting the tempo away with an easy opportunity.
Horford. Hayward.
Well, that alters an assist. It's also assist to turn almost 3.
First trip in here.
How about over the 80% mark? So he's happy also with it.
That's good from Horford.
I think one of the things organizations appreciate about Al Horford is how he is a two-way player. He's always going to give his best effort. What a pro this guy is.
Here's Henson, and slam dunk by Henson.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is. It's the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. And Horford agrees in this. One of the best passing teams in the NBA.
Well, Kevin, I don't think you can overstate the value of having a big man who can pass and who is as unselfish as Al Horford. I love his decision-making. This guy values every possession.
With the basket on the assist from Smart. And now against Hayward. Kicks it to nice ball, Boston. Shot from the wing. And quite enough under that one.
You know, missed that one, but still a really good start coming off the break. 3 for 4 now.
And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. And it's under the...
Wow. Yeah, I mean, the ball handling and body control for a guy that's Giannis's height, it's really impressive.
That unleashed kick. Under Armour really giving us a good look at the action. Jensen. Here's Hayward. Loses his man off the screen and laid in. And the Celtics lead by 5.
Oh, wow. 4 or 5 to start the half. Coming out on fire.
And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Fun as using the slam.
Really makes the basics look pretty exceptional. For Boston, they've gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. Morris dishes to Irving. Morris is... Irving drives in. Some players, no matter how hard they play him at the playing guard. Why do you think mental block is for some players?
It's amazing the power of the mind relative to sports performance, right, Kevin?
Yes.
Because I do believe very often this can be much more about the mental than the physical side of it. Think back to Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard, guys who are physically massive, and they say that their hand impacts their ability. But to me, there is no question about it that sometimes it's just you're afraid. It's like the yips in golf. You just can't figure it out. And it becomes a scary place to be, standing alone on the free throw line.
Good comparison. Now a timeout called by Boston. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments half break, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get...
Great point. Without proper hydration until you secure the rock.
The Bucks have gone as spotless, 6 of 6 from the field since taking the court here in the second half.
And the Celtics gave up 4 players to get 1 in Kyrie Irving, but they already had so much depth they could afford to sacrifice a bit for a superstar just entering his prime. Now, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul. And really for the Celtics, just a wealth of assets, but in reality, only so much playing time to go around. Sooner or later, you knew they'd make a move, and I think they got the best player in the trade.
That's good from Rozier. And Greg, the Bucks can be a fearsome defense when things are clicking.
And the Bucks will do it with several approaches. I mean, great numbers in terms of steals and blocks. They force a lot of turnovers with their pressure and ball hawking skill. It's just a matter of when the offense can catch up to the defense.
Let's see a switch here. Morris is checked in. That one is no good.
Well, a little shaky from the line, and instead of putting them in front, he's only able to tie it up.
Third quarter here, and 5 lead changes so far.
And guys, neither team has been able to pull away.
Here's Henson. Again, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That one is off. Doris, back in college, you were named to the All-Big East team. What an honor. You've been a broadcaster for Big East games in college basketball. Any player conference who would say, in your opinion, are better pros than they were in college?
Well, I think Josh Hart from Villanova would be a player that I'm curious to see what effect he has at the NBA level. He's not a guy who's going to away with his athleticism, but all he did at Villanova was win. He's got one national championship to his credit. Effective player in the Big East. Does he translate to the pros? I can't wait to see. Endorsed multiple years at the college game, too. Kevin, I think that perception is changing. There was a time where if you were a four-year college player, you were frowned upon in the NBA. I think because GMs are now looking at multiple years in college in a vastly more positive light.
Interesting thought. And a wide open shot from Morris. Pass to Rozier. Brown outside. Screen by Monroe. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Just 5 to shoot. Another shot. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. And it's a 4-point Celtic lead.
And there isn't a lot that they're doing well right now defensively. They just seem to be disconnected defensively in the second.
Here's the 7-footer falls. Hanson's got 6.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
On the wing, Brown. He's guarded by Brogdon. Tatum passes to Rozier. Screen by Monroe. Rozier kicks to Tatum. And a miss there on the triple. For Milwaukee, they've gone 7-9 from the field to start this second half. Some tremendous shooting from them. Good on the bucket. Snell's got it all tied up now for Milwaukee.
Oh, my goodness. That is how to attack the rim. Don't give the defense time to react. That's beautiful.
Rozier kicks to Tatum. Morris a screen. Jumper off the screen. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. They're getting together. May want to review this one. And not so fast. The officials are going to check that shot again and make sure they got it right before we go to the 4th.
And a chance here to just double check the ruling on the floor. I wasn't sure if he got it off in time or not, so I appreciate the second look as well.
They're going to switch the call. There is no doubt, and looking at the replay, that he got it off in time.
Well, it's good they decided to take a time. I know some folks don't like play slows the game and interrupts the flow, but when you have it there, you got to use it.
It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. Boston on top. They lead by a bucket. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. Now let's listen into the huddle of Brad Stevens.
Hey, bottom line is.
All right, the quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides to play. The Celtics lead. Morris is out there with Tatum. Then it's Greg Monroe. Then there's Brown. It's Rozier in at the 1 spot. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. Brown dishes to Monroe. A shot off that time. So Milwaukee will take it the other way. Now here's Terry. First one falls for him. And the Boston Celtics, the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference last season. Doris, the first time in 9 seasons they held that spot.
And frankly, Kevin, they were way ahead of schedule. And with new players like Al Horford, Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving, they've become a champ tender.
Gordon Hayward's checked in for Boston. Irving comes in for Shear. Brown wide open. He fires. Monroe. Jabari Parker comes up with the rebound. To take the lead. That shot off. And the Celtics going the other way now. Hayward with the ball. Now guarded by Middleton. Goes up at the stripe. And it comes off the front of the rim.
Boy, I'll tell you, plenty of space, but it looked like a little bit of a hitch in that release.
Antetokounmpo passes to Parker. Back to Antetokounmpo. And taken away by... And here comes Brown. Leading the fast break. And he banks in the layup. And the Celtics lead by 2.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Outside, Antetokounmpo. Back to Terry. Fires for three. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
That's an example of willpower right there, guys. I mean, grabbing the offensive rebound and then going.
And GA, in a close game like this, where every possession is critical, that could prove to be a very big one.
Yeah, he saw he had a huge opportunity to help his team. Score is tight-knit, and he comes through.
Dishes it to Hayward. 6 on the shot clock. Irving for three. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. Hayward's got 3 assists in the game. And it's Terry off the drive. That one goes in.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Boston's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Bledsoe against Irving. And the foul on Eric Bledsoe. That's foul number 2 for him. And some changes here for the Celtics. Al Horford is checked in for Monroe. And Marcus Smart is subbed in for Brown. Henson's checked in for Milwaukee. Here's Irving. The feed to Tatum. Good from long.
Yeah, that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems a little bit.
Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. And here is Henson. And he lays it in.
And I tell you what, they're doing their best to cut down the lead with some suspense here. Shot improved since the break.
Away from a three. Oh, he's made and just missed his fourth. For just welcome, we've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the.
I like mission. Rhythm knows it's the time to give his team some punch.
Celtics have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. And Tatum atop the key. Back to Irving. Tatum setting the pick for Irving. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo.
Boy, that's exactly how you have to play defense when he's driving the lane. You cannot give him any space.
And the officials call over the back. A little too aggressive there.
And gets physical boards and just reward with the call.
He wanted that rebound. Didn't matter who was in his way. Doesn't though.
Marcus Morris is checked in for Tatum. And Milwaukee also making a switch. Tony Snell's checked in for Jason Terry.
Yeah, blown opportunity after that game creates a terrific look.
Well, he simply misfired. I mean, you've got to capitalize when the score opens up wide open shot.
Middleton against Hayward. And Middleton kicks to Henson. Irving with the steal. Here's Smart. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. And that's now 6 points for Marcus Smart.
These moments when his number is called, the ability to deliver a big-time bucket.
Here's Antetokounmpo. And Antetokounmpo it in.
Oh, and the two-hander on the slam.
Sure. Boston's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Picked by Horford. Horford with the screen on Middleton. Here's Hayward. The Celtics by 2.
Big one from Hayward, the kind of boys that make big shot maker.
Bledsoe dishes to Kumbo. Seconds left, fourth quarter. Middleton up. Connects. He has tied up this game. Oh, what a shot.
And this atmosphere is bananas.
No doubt. You love seeing him knock down the clutch hit.
Now a timeout called by Boston. The score knotted at 51. 36 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. now the presence of Jordan player of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And his percentage from the field tonight seemed almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a...
He gets a chance up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey guys, well, I was able to listen in on what Brad Stevens was talking about with his players. With this game in the balance, he really came after us. This our time, right now. Be in the moment with each other. Do your job. I promise you will win this game. Back to you.
The Sheward busted. No good that time either. Here's Antetokounmpo. Money!
And now they are probably too far ahead. It's going to be nearly impossible to get back in this one.
There's no doubt. Clicking. What an amazing all-around effort to take a lead like this late in the game.
$15 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Morris outside. Irving from long range. The putback. Yes!
I think it's difficult to keep Hayward off the boards. This guy's a determined offensive rebounder.
And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope.
They choose to intentionally. First free throw is good, and that 3-point lead.
Antetokounmpo is just incredibly talented, a long, lanky, athletic powerhouse of a player.
Well, that's going to do it. The only chance they had was for him to miss those. Instead, he's absolutely perfect.
So a close game sees Milwaukee taking this one. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here, joined by the great Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great. Tonight, it'll be the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, for Milwaukee, they got their season rolling with a nice win in their first game. Now we'll find out if they can build on it and open with back-to-back victories. And the Bucks securing $250 million with a B dollar funding from Milwaukee to build it.
The Bucks look to take charge at BMO Harris Bradley Center, and we're bringing it to you live from Milwaukee here on Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Terry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge and David. Thanks to you, and clearly Thompson knows his role on this team. Got to admire how hard he goes on the glass. They getting some season at a great start thinking about things like home court advantage.
Well, it's kind of like, Kevin, it's never were right to start about the home court advantage. You know, a lot of veteran teams will tell you that they're not concerned about whether their game would come playoff time, but home court advantage is that they would all like to have. Trust me.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade. All and ready to go. On the floor, the two stars, LeBron and Love, making up the forward position. Jordan Clarkson is out there with Hood, and it's Thompson in at the pivots in the middle. Here's Henson. The kick out to Antetokounmpo from deep. And a rebound goes to the Cavaliers. They're getting their first look of the season at the Bucks in this one.
And they usually came out on top when these two teams faced off last year. No surprise, they're the better team.
Thompson is screen on Bledsoe. Here's Clarkson. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
Great awareness. No reason to take it inside there against the taller man.
Yeah, most analytics will tell you that the mid-range jumper is not an efficient shot, but you see how effective with guys like that it can be.
Henson with it, picked up by Thompson. The shot's good from Henson.
This is where he should operate. Henson has developed his skills, but has
Eight. Got a piece of it. Pass to Antetokounmpo. And a great assist by so as that one goes in.
And he's shooting the ball very well, in addition to creating for both himself and his teammates out there on a roll.
Thompson is screen on Woodson. Clarkson kicks to Love. Feeds it to James. Launches a three. Cleveland keeping it alive. Fresh 24. Good. Dishes to Clarkson. James against Middleton. And Henson sends it back.
Henson's an explosive leaper and really active on that play.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
The amount of production that Giannis gives you in all out of the game is probably the most head-scratching, astounding part of his play. Points, rebounds, assists, block shots, run the floor. What else do you need, Evan?
First free throw is good. Thinking about the all-around impact, Giannis Antetokounmpo last season, he would finish in the top 20 for points. Brent Poston is
I can't believe that. It would be the first time, Kevin, that any player done that if he had those assist numbers. I expect those numbers all to keep climbing and it becoming easier and easier. The next thing is about making the players around him better. What a talent.
Bledsoe passes to Middleton. Antetokounmpo against Love. He gets it in there. And it's 8 points for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And right now, the game plan seems to be working.
It looks like this team has finally gotten into the club and found its rhythm, trying their best to pull away.
Here's LeBron. And nothing is falling for him right now. Bucks leading by 8. Now, here's Antetokounmpo. He picked up 30 points in their last win against the Celtics in Boston. Clock at 6. Middleton on the wing. Puts up a 3. And out of bounds. The Cavaliers will take it.
And here's a look at some stats. Bledsoe. Great showing for him last season. He's around 21 points a game, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. And just look at those scoring totals. He's on what he does best. Put him on the board.
His instincts now are to score the basketball. That ability to find the creases in the defense is something you just don't teach, and it's awesome. Some guys just take pride in how they set screens. It might seem like a small part of the game. As you saw there, it can have a huge impact in getting a shooter an open look at the basketball.
Antetokounmpo against Love. And it's Antetokounmpo penetrated. Insane shot. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, he doesn't have a ton of moves down there, but Henson has been working offensive game, and that length helps out. He draws the foul.
And a look at John Henson, the Tar Heel product, very measured in his play. Never does much to hurt you when he's out on the floor.
John Henson's out there for 2 reasons. Rebound the basketball and be a rim protector. He uses those incredibly long arms to bother shooters, and as long as the perimeter defense is shuffling guys towards John Henson's way, it can have a huge effect on the ball game for the minutes he's in.
Beautiful reverse jam right there.
Use the rim to protect the ball, I think. The Cavs checked in for John Henson. You were playing in Seattle. Those were the best assist years, statistically, of your career. What led you to become such a catalyst for that offense?
Well, it was interesting just as I finally got an opportunity to start to play with the basketball as a 2-guard a little bit more in Seattle, trying to play a little bit more up-tempo. And again, I'll mention opportunities because of Gary Payton getting double-teamed. It open up situations for me, Kevin, where I could be a bit more creative as the off guard.
And you love that, didn't you?
I love playing that way. I wish I had more years of doing that, kind of the run-and-gun style that Phoenix employed for most of the mid-2000s. At 7 sets, I could have been agreeable with that.
Zeller with the double team. And James with the basket on the assist by Nance. James has got his second basket of the game.
Well, LeBron going up strong on the inside doesn't give the D a chance to block his shot. Carves out just enough room.
And it's Terry off the drive. Parker's shot is off.
Were those guys back on defense? I didn't see him. Somehow someone missed an assignment. Luckily, he bricked the mid-range.
Nance, no good.
Wow, just shocked that he missed that layup. Not a lot of defense there.
And there's Terry. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Picked by Zeller. Parker's shot is off.
Well, from our angle, that looked like that was going in. But defense, fantastic how they contested it.
Middleton against LeBron. Nance outside. Needs to get a shot. And the basket by Hill. And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Parker.
Some turnovers necessary. That one, not so much.
Just 4 seconds left to play here in the first. And that one drops for him.
And, hey, that's Korver's go-to. As soon as he catches that ball right there, it's going right up. Gotta love that approach.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Cavaliers on top. They finish off the first quarter on a 12-1 run. And we'll be back right after this. And LeBron James trying to will his Cavaliers team to a title. Teammate Kevin Love says LeBron made it clear from the start what he expected.
He sat us down right before the first practice and spoke about what he brought to the table. And we had to hold up our
LeBron, know that I think if they just keep following LeBron's advice, the sky's the limit.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And from what we've seen from the Cavaliers, what do you guys see?
I mean, through that first quarter, it's all about their D.
There's a lot of ways to build a lead. This one's built on stop.
So for Korver and LeBron are the wings. Hands out there with Green, and it's Hill, and at the point. Up top, Brogdon. Guarded by Korver, and it's blocked. Hill left side. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
Outstanding job by Korver in how he swings the pass over to the most open man on the court. Strange to see that this Cavs team, after facing the Warriors, became one of the most elite shooting teams themselves. Their three-point shooting percentage up to about 38% last season. That was second best in the NBA. They also had the second most attempts in the league behind the Rockets.
Shot clock at 3. It's Parker outside. Rebound by Jeff Green. Hill against Terry. Here's Nance. And that one comes up a bit short. For the Cavaliers, 50% of their field goal attempts coming from long range last season. And a huge part of their offense.
25 made threes in a single game against the Hawks last year was an NBA record. Not Golden State. Cleveland had that record. So it's one of the many ones that they set as a prolific three-point shooting team. And interesting because their match, the Cavs shot more here.
A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Bucks.
And the one shot they said is wrong for shot as many deep threes.
Frank, coming down the stretch of a tie game, some coaches like to substitute for offense and defense. Others don't. What would be your preference if you were coaching?
I think the idea has to totally do with matchups, Kevin. You're looking out on the floor. If all of a sudden the guy you want with the ball has a mismatch or an advantage, I'm going to stay away from any sort of timeout to give a coach 60 seconds to talk about something that he could probably shut down. I might not be able to be as creative as what's just happened in the flow of the game, and I'll trust my player to make the right play for me at that time.
And Henson kicks to Snell. Here's Antetokounmpo, and the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
That sensational length to get that finish.
To the middle. Whoops, they pass. A finish, and John Henson with the slam.
How about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Well, this team now has to settle in right here and have a great possession without getting so aggressive that you compound your mistake.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Alder.
Guys, Tristan Thompson has one of the longest consecutive games played streaks in NBA history. He said, the mind's a powerful thing, and if you tell your brain everything is all right, you'd be surprised on the stuff you can achieve. We have the mental toughness to push through our limits. That's how you become great and test yourself as a player. Kevin?
Well, David, Thompson certainly a mentally strong player. Always nice to have someone you can rely on night in and night out.
And looking now to numbers for Bucks, last season's performance for him. Last year averaged 14 points per game, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he talent, but honestly, he'd like to see those numbers improve.
From all the whispers that we've heard, he's been working hard on his game. It just has not showed up yet.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Thompson's checked in, and the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Well, the muscle of Antetokounmpo is impressive. He's just destroying the defense right now.
And last season, Giannis really making the leap to superstar in the NBA. Brent was recognized by the fans, as well as he was voted in as a starter for the All-Star game in New Orleans.
And I love the point that Giannis made last year with regards to that All-Star voting, Kevin. He said he would have gotten more votes if people knew how to spell his name correctly. I still get it wrong.
Here's Hood. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
Nice job operating in the mid-range, using his size advantage to rise up and fire over the defender.
And Henson kicks to Bledsoe. Shoots over Clarkson. No good from Bledsoe. Cleveland's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. To the paint. And Rodney Hood again. Hood's got 4 this quarter.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Coaching staff has to like that ball movement, and it began with Bledsoe.
Nance a screen, stolen by Henson. Terry outside. Now the feed to Bledsoe. Back to Terry. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
See the way he kept going and kept his eye on the basket. That helped.
The Cavaliers trail by 3. The screen from Thompson. Some dishes to Hood. And Love has it in the corner. It's a pick by Love. Here's Clarkson. Lands soft on the front of the rim and props.
I give some credit to the screen out there. That totally freed up the shooter to take advantage of that look.
Outside, and Antetokounmpo slams it in.
You got to wonder how high is the ceiling for Giannis in terms of the versatility out there on the floor. Tonight, he is putting on a scoring show.
Here is Nance. 6 points for him. 17 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Here's Clarkson. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Well executed. Great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Well, it's like Thanksgiving out there, carving out space off the screen. Couldn't play.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's feeling it tonight and has been He comes away with 11 points in the quarter. And
Thanks, Kevin. Here with
all right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, y'all. Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. It was a big-time first quarter for Giannis Antetokounmpo. He ended up with 19 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Kenny, your thoughts on the Bucks' first half?
So far, I love their commitment on the glass. Even when they were...
That's for halftime, as the second half is just about to get underway.
Welcome back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The buildings of downtown reflecting off the gentle waters of beautiful Lake Michigan. Here's James. Chris Middleton is out there with Antetokounmpo. Then it's John Henson. Then there's Bledsoe. And it's Snell in at the shooting guard. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. Here's Clarkson. Rebounded by the Bucks. Middleton's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's Snell. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Here's Antetokounmpo and the layup off the glass. Antetokounmpo's got the first points of the second years. The Cavaliers trail by 5. Brent, some incredible players have put on the jersey for the Bucks in their storied history. You have a favorite Bucks player who you always appreciated watching?
Well, I'll name Kevin. Jack Sikma. Second, Sidney Moncrief. And third, Terry Cummings. Those were some of the more incredible offensive teams in the 1980s that do not get enough credit.
Love kicks the hood. LeBron with it. Now guarded by Antetokounmpo. Pocket 6. James against Antetokounmpo. And the reaction by Antetokounmpo. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off the shot. 24-second violation. Second half of basketball. Just over a minute played so far. Clarkson against Bledsoe. The pass to Henson. Three-pointers, Snell. And shot off. 18 that time from Hood. The Cavaliers trail by 5. He dishes it to James. From downtown. Hood can't get it to go.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Snell, no good. Cavaliers have gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second half. Clarkson passes to LeBron. There's the pick. Shot clock at 5. Good for 3. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. That's 7 points. Hood.
Well, it took 4. They finally got one to go. Still, they need to connect on more opportunities to get this quarter going.
And the Bucks with some changes. Parker comes in for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Malcolm Brogdon subbed in for Tony Snell. And then for Cleveland, Green's checked in for Love. Korver comes in for Rodney Hood, and George Hills subbed in for Jordan Clarkson. And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession.
And a moment here now. Numbers for LeBron James. Coming off a terrific season. 6th in assists, 8th in scoring, and he was such a reliable option offensively, finishing in the top 10 in field goal percentage.
And his floor awareness was impeccable last season. As you know, top 10 in assists. Great job of getting everyone involved.
They got to hope to turn it on soon. 1 of 4 so far, and they know they got to be better.
And Brent, when you watch Tristan Thompson pursue offensive rebounds, he's constantly battling for position inside.
Well, he toes the line a lot with what he can get away with, but more and more the experience on the court, who it is that he's playing against, does a great job of predicting where shots are coming off, finding angles on the inside, and being in great position to make easy scores.
Bledsoe outside. Brogdon kicks to Middleton. Jacks up a 3. Back to Brogdon. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Pass to Middleton. He feeds it to Henson. Brogdon with a screen for Henson. It's stolen by Green. Right side Hill. Back to James. The screen from Thompson. James with it. Now guarded by Middleton. Just 5 on the clock. James dishes to Thompson. The rebound by Middleton. Middleton's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Bledsoe against Hill. And it's sent back by Hill. Dishes it to Korver. Pick up by Hill. Bledsoe against LeBron. Kicks to Thompson. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. And it's a 3-point Cavalier lead.
See all the responsibilities that LeBron James has. He is their leader. I'd like to see him get it to the open teammate. He does that often.
Here's nice reverse.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
Floats it up for James. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
Now that looked easy. 2 of the easier points for LeBron James in this ball game.
Great way to alley-oop. That replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another unleash chaos moment. Jason Terry. He's checked in for the Bucks. And a switch here also for Cleveland. Harry Nance is checked in for Thompson. 1:31 left to play here in the third. And the Cavs' big 3 completed with the trade of number 1 overall pick Andrew Wiggins to Minnesota for Kevin Love. Brent, if they had to do it all over again, you still think they make that trade?
Absolutely, Kevin. They brought a championship to Cleveland, a drought of 54 years, and Kevin Love was a big reason why they got to the top of the mountain. So I would absolutely make that trade.
Middleton, Brent, missing most of the year with a torn hamstring.
Well, I don't think he ever quite really felt confident in what his body could provide for him last year, Kevin. And so, tentative play, good sign for the Milwaukee Bucks that Chris Middleton will be a scoring option for them for sure.
And one of the things I love about Chris Middleton is his decision making. You know, he doesn't force shots or passes when he has the ball and just lets the play develop. And that's why coaches trust him so much.
Terry outside for the lead. The rebound by Nance.
Well, important to get great balance if you get bumped on your way to the basket. Still something that every player tries to get comfortable with.
The 3 from Hill. Out of bounds. Milwaukee takes possession. Cavaliers making a switch here. Love's checked in. Milwaukee's gotten off to a very slow start from 3-point range in the second. 0 for 4. Terry against Hill. Henson kicks it out to Terry. Here's Brogdon. That's tipped and stolen by Love. Korver against Brogdon. Nance sets a screen for Hill. Poked away. Gets it off. No good that time. 3 quarters of play in a close game here. Cavaliers on top, leading by a point. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the 4th quarter. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The 4th quarter of action getting started. The Bucks trail. On the court for Cleveland. Green, Jordan Clarkson. And it's Nance. And it's Love in at the 5. Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession. Cavaliers shooting from the field. 44%, not bad. Clarkson passes to Love. It's thrown by Antetokounmpo. And Henson kicks to Brogdon. to take the lead, and there's the nice layup by Henson. Henson's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Milwaukee. And here are the Cavaliers now. Clarkson with the ball. He kicks to Love. Mans a screen. 5 on the clock. That falls. Great assist by Love. And the Cavaliers lead by 1.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Outside, out of the Kumbo. And he jams it right over Kevin Love. Wow.
Oh, I would love to see Giannis in the dunk contest. Wouldn't that be sweet, Kevin?
Clarkson kicks to Green. Love with the screen for Green. Back to Clarkson. Steps back and fires. The shot will not fall. The Bucks go the other way with it.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding is starting to add.
Slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Clarkson kicks to Hood. Love with the screen on Brogdon. They get the rebound. Now Hood. Pass to Clarkson. It's a pick by Love. Another shot. And it's off the back rim. No good.
He seems to be forcing just a little bit out there. He needs to play a little calmer, a little smarter, with a little bit more poise if they're going to win this one.
Pass to Brock. Back to Kumbo. The layup. Now a 5-point Milwaukee lead.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart, especially on the interior.
Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. And the shot goes down. Antetokounmpo's got 10 points here in the second half.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Timeout called, Cleveland. And with the fourth quarter push coming up here, the coach going over the game plan, and these players rehydrating themselves with Gatorade, recharging their bodies, refocusing their minds, and getting that strategy down to close out the game. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And guys, no doubt who our pick is going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more this, the deeper that connection gets. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Teron Lue as he talked to the team. He told them that for now, they have to back off of the three-point line. He said, we don't have to just shoot threes. Let's get the ball in tight. The percentage looks at the bench. Back to you guys.
It's a pick by Love. LeBron kicks to Hood. Love with the screen for Hood. And he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick.
That screen made it impossible for the defense to put up any kind of fight.
Bledsoe against Clarkson. And Thompson brings it back.
Well, Thompson lives in the paint, and defensively, occasionally, you're going to get to shots like that.
Love. It's good on the putback.
That's why Kevin Love with the ball right now is not a bad option.
Bucks leading by 3. Bledsoe kicks to Snell. There's a good screen. Henson with the screen. Here's Antetokounmpo. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Antetokounmpo's got 12 points now in the quarter. Thompson, a screen on Middleton. James kicks to Clarkson. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. That's good going from the line, and that's the margin to just 4.
That one miss was huge. He had a chance to turn this into a one-possession game.
And that one, good.
Chris Middleton has the size in this league that you need to finish on the inside. Way to get that one up quick.
Now here's Hood. It's a pick by Love. Bledsoe against Clarkson. It's stolen by Antetokounmpo. Stolen by Clarkson.
And at a certain point, there's just nothing more you can do.
Well, they're nearing that point right now. Everything would have to go perfectly just to give them a shot.
Doubled by Henson. The left side wing. And here's Love for 3. And another miss by Cleveland. Jumps up. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
And with time becoming a factor, that may do it, guys.
Well, leads are not given. They are earned. Playing with desire and attention to detail all night.
And it's the Bucks on the break. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Running up the score shows no mercy.
Well, you want to close the door on any type of comeback effort. This has been a vault. Ka-ching.
You're right. And the Cavaliers call time here. They're behind by 10. 23 seconds left in the game. .23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. He drops the first one, and that brings them within single digits. That one falls, so he hits both of them. And it's Milwaukee's ball. One is winding down now. Milwaukee can watch the clock run out.
And Forsyth's there. He just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. How can it be?
And Bucks take a confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. I think they built off that.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. So long, everyone.